Hi, Happy Hoarder here, and I am participating in the FantasyCore Spring Collaboration, hosted by Indiana Jones. Please check out her link in the description below and the playlist also in the description and all of the wonderful participants and their videos. I have two projects to share with you today, my mermaid and my fairy. I love doing arts and crafts, but I am an artist and I really need to go back to working on my drawing skills, and I've always wanted to learn how to do stuff on the computer, and this is my first time to sit down and learn to draw on my computer. And I've downloaded two programs, Adobe Illustrator, which I will probably send back because I feel like I can get everything I need between Procreate, which is the other one I just downloaded, and I also use Photoshop. I think I can do everything I want to do with drawing on those programs. I did work on one of my live streams because I needed my son to help me kind of, work with me on this. Now he is in Austin, and this gave us a chance to kind of work with it together, and he kind of introduced it to me. Now I had a little problem with my pen. I had charged it, but apparently the charger I used, I don't know why it didn't work. The things we must learn. But basically, I started with a gesture drawing, and I am using my finger because the pen wasn't working. And then I was going back over it with my kind of details. And I really didn't get into that part. I was actually having a little bit more problems, but I kind of wanted to run through this with you that I was trying. And I know it looks a little scary if you've never done something like this. I do encourage you because it is just something you have to look at. I mean, we kind of go through it pretty fast, and especially if you watch my son, he knows where everything is. He's just popping things open and closed, and he's doing all this stuff. But once you've learned it and you learn all these wonderful brushes and techniques that you can do, this is great fun, and I encourage you to get some program. Now, one thing I did do with my students is we found a program online, so you didn't even download it, and then you could actually save your files. So it did a lot of the same stuff. You had a lot of pens you could use and different patterns you could use and different textures you could use. So we did kind of play around with that, but I didn't really get into drawing as much as I did with this. This is my first time, and of all things, I picked a really detailed thing to do. So my son and I were having a few issues the whole time, and I finally just sort of gave up on it and decided to just do a pencil drawing. I do need to point out that this is on fast forward. I don't do anything this fast. I am very slow at everything I do.
Put me up on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's swimming.
There we go.
Yeah, I was trying to get that hand. I don't know if I can see what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, backwards. A little tiny hand.
A tiny stringy hand.
Yeah.
Does she have webbed fingers? I can't even tell.
I see. Should she? You don't really see them with webbed in the.
I feel like with mermaids, you gotta make them somewhat creepy. They gotta. They're sirens.
But we're trying. This is supposed to not be dark. It's supposed to be light and happy.
Oh. we're not making sirens. We're making.
Yes, that's for a whole other thing. But yeah, this is called FairyCore, and I think they want being that fairy. Yeah, they kind of want a little sweeter. They could do her sky though, and paint it and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Thanks.
So here's my finished sketch, and what you can do is take a photo of this and actually use it as your first layer, and then you can add layers. But I actually went back to my original drawing, and I did my gesture drawing, and then I did some details, and then that's just an example of what my details look like once you start separating the layers out. And you can see when I just started drawing, I made a lot of changes and moved some things around, and I used a lot of different texture brushes. Sorry, I did a little censoring on here, and so you can see all the little things as it kind of evolved. So most of this has to do with all the different textures and brushes that you have, and it's a lot of experimenting because I had no idea what most of these things did. This is back to just showing how my drawing had changed a little bit, and a little bit more modifications here. I didn't like all the black in the tail, so you'll see things kind of change. The rock was getting kind of too smooth. I tried playing around with color to see what I liked. This is just blue scale. coloring and put it in a grayscale color to see what it looked like in that. And I don't have her, and this is where I used a Portrait Pro to just see what I could do with her face just for fun. So here I actually have her shell in her hand now, and here's the finished piece. Hey. So I am working on my fairy for our fairy core. I'm making a fairy. This is Tinkerbell. I forgot to take her before picture, but I used the acetone to get her stuff, all of her face off. Now, I don't know why people go through the effort of showing this part on the video, but after doing this, I needed to do her spray her, and I sprayed her 3 times with Mr. Super Clear. So I did this during a live stream with Melissa from Buckeye Girls Wreaths and Things, and she's just a delight, and I had a great time talking with her while I was working. It's always so much more fun to do something with a friend. Now I am working with different watercolor pencils. I usually don't start with black. I don't know why I grabbed that black. I did come to regret it later. I do have a color that I use that is a little bit darker than a flesh tone, and that's one I typically use. Okay, so this is not going the way I want it to, because it's I don't know what's happening here. My pencil, this is why I tell y'all these watercolor pencils by Crayola are awesome. I bet I'll do better. So I'm using toothpicks. I use all sorts of non-traditional tools in my studio. I feel like that better. So the light's a little softer now. Blue, blue, blue. Where's my dark blue? Sometimes you can hear Melissa in the background making noises. There's something I have to confess about all my dolls. I cannot just draw a pair of eyes and lips and all that. I have to draw the eyes and lips that go with that doll. It's just one of those things. I can't just slap some lips and eyes on. I draw about 4 or 5 different pairs of eyes and 6 pairs of lips on all my dolls. And in this case, she had like an open mouth with her little teeth showing. At first, I didn't really want her teeth showing, but there was definitely a gap there, you know, a little area I had to do something with. So I was kind of struggling with different ideas on what to do with it. And I should have gone with this a better plan, like what color I wanted her hair to be first. I kind of thought I was going to make her a blonde, and so I was kind of going with that, but then I was putting way too dark on her. It's just a process. But you'll see later when I go through all my hair choices, what colors I chose. Somebody in drag here in a minute, she's going to have so much makeup on. I don't want you to have a lot of makeup on. Get my light. I'm going to have to get a flashlight in here just for this reason. Yeah. So way too much makeup, chick. Come on. So back to making some changes. I do use kneaded erasers, and I am using a brush right now, and I'm actually using a little bit of water on the watercolor pencils to get just a tiny bit of color to do a little bit of painting on them. Oh, I've messed up. Y'all, I have messed up. Earlier in the video, I thought this was going to be like a really quick fix, but I was wrong. I think I need to darken her brows. I don't know color hair. Hang on a second. So I buy from More's More, M-O-R-E-Z, More, M-O-R-E. And I buy a lot of their remnants because this is what I've learned. And I talked to him when I'm going to order, is that I want thin pelts, because some people need the thicker pelts for their projects, for the dolls. And this, for example, is super thick. And so it's hard to use. I want to show you this hair. So this is that ombre, and it's just a dark. Oh. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, this is like natural. I don't think this was ombre. I think this is the way it looks. So I'm kind of digging this. This was a very, very pricey piece. Yeah, the hairs, and I love it. But some of it is thin. This is what's weird, is they have like thick pieces and thin, so I can use a lot of the thin. But this is, I like this for her hair, which is why I did her eyebrows kind of yellow, because I wanted to kind of keep them this way, maybe. So that's kind of cute. But on the same note, it kind of keeps her in the still blonde, kind of Tinkerbellish. And I may want to make her different. But I have this really sweet light purple. Oh, it's so cute. I could do her this color, but I don't have any eyelashes. I don't have any purple eyelashes. I could paint purple.
But oh my gosh. So you want it with a lot of texture because that's what makes it really cool. Look at all that texture on it. And now she's not going to be, she'll be greens because she's going to be greens and light colors. But yeah, I would get her in the thing. But see, the pink is super sweet for her. Oh, yeah. Jerry. When you look in this thing, you can't tell right from left. It makes you kind of, so I'm kind of digging the pink. Got this red. Oh my gosh, I got the reddest red. So I bought this red for my leprechaun that I have. And I was like, what was I thinking? That ain't red. That is so, some pictures aren't quite accurate. That's so dark.
I dye my hair when I dye my hair.
Really? I love that. It's a great color, but it's not leprechaun red. It's like, I don't know what color. So she keeps it dark. I think they're dark.
That's natural hair color.
She don't like the what? Oh, that is so funny. She found a jar in the trash. But anyway, I think that might be too dark. It looks better in real life, but I don't know. I'm not seeing flowers. You know what I mean? It's not like. And check it out. I got blue. I got some blue.
Ooh.
I got this really cool gray, but I use this with other I use this as accents to my other dolls because I just like a little hint of gray sometimes. Okay, this is the color, but it's really long. And this was like not cheap. So I bought that. When you buy it like this is your top quality. So say if you buy a piece like that, that's usually top quality. And look at that. Look at that. Look how gorgeous this piece is. You can see, you can tell the difference between scraps and good stuff.
Wow.
But guess what? The pelt is like that thick. It's so super thick. It's going to be really hard to work with. And that's why it would probably might not work on her because I don't think I can get it. I'll try. She's dumpster diving, Liz. She is. But is that I love that color and I love that texture on her. I actually kind of love this. This one is great because it's thin. It's really thin pelt on it. So easier to work with. So this is a pretty blue. And it is, I don't know. What do y'all think? Maybe if I did her, I'd have to repaint her eyes. Because I think
pretty.
The green wouldn't work with this blue. I could touch them up.
The pink is pretty too.
I may have to do another one because I just love this color. Oh, the purple. Here's the purple. And the purple has a problem though. It's very straight. So Robba, come up here. I only have a little tiny pieces, but that's enough for her because the way you cut it, it would be enough. So I've got a little body here, but this is like seriously straight and long. How long that hair is. So I could do purple on her.
Yeah.
Maybe. It is kind of sweet. You want to be purple with green eyes? Why not? She is looking better. I don't know if Erica's still on here. Her mouth looks so much better now. I mean, it looks just like it's open, or I blacked her teeth out. I don't know. Does it just look like I blacked her teeth out? Because if it does, I might have to go back in and fix that again. So I will. The reason I'm kind of waiting, I do need to put some Mr. Superclear. I cleaned her up. I sanded her. I'm the worst about not taking off like that on her booty, but you're not going to see this one. I'm the worst about not taking that part off or doing their seams. So with her, I did do her seams. So she looks so much cuter. I kind of like her. I forgot what color eye she had originally. Probably green. I probably painted her look just like she looked before.
My poor sweet fairy. She's been wooled around so much lately that I thought I'd give this technique a try. I see a lot of doll artists doing it where they use a metal chopstick and they use the flat iron and they roll it, and it does work. And it was kind of cool. But for this type hair, it's just as easy to just wet it and style it. But I went ahead and tried it. I did find her other antenna, by the way. If you've watched me in any of my lives, I had lost one of her antenna. I found both now. So I was gluing those in and kind of styling her hair around them so they would kind of stay. That was kind of tricky getting those tiny little delicate antenna in there. So I'm trying to style the hair to see what I want it to do. I did go back and get a little bit more hair to put on her where the antennas are to kind of help secure them. But I did leave her little panties pink because I have not had the best luck painting that plastic and it's staying painted. Sorry I keep pulling her out of the scene like that, but I am working. So I went ahead and left in pink because she's a flower kind of thing. She likes her pink panties. Leave her alone. So what I had to do on the hair, the pelt was kind of thick, so all that, I had to cut it like some of that pelt down on the back. It's kind of tricky. So it was like very finesse kind of thing I had to do. So I did that. Now, her wings I worked on last night. I actually got some footage of me working on it, and I just had so much footage. I didn't want to make this thing too long, so I decided that it's just me gluing. I didn't think y'all wanted to watch that. So I was just gluing some glitter on that. Those were wings that came off of a porcelain doll, and I just touched them up with a flower that I had. I had 2 flowers, one I used for her dress and one I used for her wings. And then I made her little dress, the extra parts of her dress, out of the leaves that came off of the flower as well. And then I had some extra leaves that I used for her bodice. And then the very top, I did paint that part green because it wasn't going to be in a place where it was going to get scratched. And I wanted some little dangly things on her, so I had all this ribbon, and I had set aside for her. And I think it kind of gave her a little extra balance. So I think she turned out pretty cute, and I hope you like her. So check her out, because here she is all finished up. Be sure you go check out Annie's channel. You'll see her link in the description below. Thank you for hosting this, Annie. It was a lot of fun. And be sure you check out the other participants in the playlist below. Thanks for watching, and please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment and hit that notification button, because sometimes I make pretty good videos, and I go live on Tuesdays at 2 and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.